Good morning and thank you for tuning in to Church of Uganda Family TV. It is now time for Issues at Hand. Welcome back from Good Morning Family. I trust it has been an interesting one. Now here at Issues at Hand, remember we are powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott in Entebbe, a place you should really find time and go and check out for their very nice services, be it accommodation, be it in meals, be it in all the other services like swimming pool and the gym and all those things. Place you should truly find time and go and check out. Mostly, now importantly, during this time, this week is so busy, and also knowing next week is also going to be busy with NAM and of course G77 plus China Summit. So please, if you get a guest and they want to go for accommodation, kindly tell them to find time and go to Protea Hotel by Marriott in Entebbe. My name is Luke Majumba Alnaitwe and I welcome you to Issues at Hand. Today we're going to be discussing a number of issues, basically depending on the guests we have today, one being from Nogamu, an organic agricultural practicing entity, and of course also CSBAG, a private sector organization that oversees government operations majorly depending on the budget. So today it is going to be an interesting discussion. All you have to do is sit back and of course enjoy the flow. We're having NAM, the Nana Land Movement, which is in Uganda, being hosted by Uganda for these 5 days, and then later on we shall have the G77 plus China Summit as well, also being hosted by Uganda, meaning these are very important summits, international summits for a country like Uganda to host. This means we are going to be showcasing or portraying out there what Uganda has or what Uganda means to the world. We are called the Pearl of Africa, but when the guests are here, are you going to really show them that? That is what we are going to be entirely discussing. Basically today I'm joined by a number of guests, and it is interesting that each of them introduces themselves. Good morning, madam. Yes, please greet the people out there and of course introduce yourself to them.
Good morning, viewers. I'm called Marilyn Kavalera. I work with Nogamu. Nogamu is the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda, and I work there as the head of advocacy and strategic relations.
Okay, you're most welcome. Yes, sir.
Good morning, viewers and listeners, because we know you are on internet, Family TV. Nice to be here. Looking forward to nice discussions. I'm Julius Kapwepwe. I am here as the coordinator for the East African Budget Network, which is a member of the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group.
Okay, that is
we are from. That's the non-governmental organization subsector within the spectrum of the private sector.
Okay, that is interesting. It is nice to have you here today, all of you. And as I told you, we have NAM being hosted in Uganda, and one of the things that we are known for, Uganda, is having organic food. We deal in organic agriculture, so it is something we should always try to portray out there. And one of the reasons we have Nogamu here today is to discuss this, what opportunities lie in the NAM Summit for us to showcase what we have here, majorly organic food. So, Madam, once again, good morning, and what is Nogamu? What is Nogamu for someone out there who is watching us?
Nogamu is an umbrella organization for organic practitioners in Uganda. In full, it's the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda. And we bring together all the organic actors, exporters, processors, farmers, individuals who are into organic farming, and NGOs that are promoting organic agriculture.
Okay.
So we focus on a number of areas. One of them is training, extension and research in the area of organic agriculture. We look at standards and certification. Then we also look at the aspect of export and markets, where we look at where people could sell their produce to benefit more from that. And the last one is on advocacy, where we advocate for a favorable working environment for the organic practitioners so that they can do their activities in a favorable environment.
Okay.
So that's Nogamu. We are an umbrella and we are the voice and leader of organic agriculture in Uganda.
Okay. And what does organic farming mean to a person out there?
Organic farming is the type of farming where the production does not involve use of synthetic or harmful chemicals. It focuses on farming alternatives like crop rotation, use of manure from animals and chicken, and mulching. You've had these things.
Yes, sure.
So it's the farming system that all of us know, we've grown knowing organic agriculture. And it is Uganda's culture, if I can use the words which were used by the minister when we had one of the meetings, Honorable Fred Wino. He said organic agriculture is Uganda's culture.
Okay.
And I think as we talk about NAM and the summits going on, people need to know that this is our culture and we need to promote it, because it's something that where we have the competitive and comparative advantage.
Okay, that's interesting. Mr. Julius, what do you think NAM comes along with? What opportunities lies in Uganda hosting NAM?
Ugandans, we are word to NAM for Namsoke, NAM for many things. And I don't want us to get lost into the NAM, N-A-M, or what a Muganda Musoga would have said, NAM, Ma, is, in English means is non-aligned movement. That means those states or those countries and governments across the world that in the 1960s, when the United States and the Western world was mainly promoting an ideology called capitalism, there was another bloc in the world that was instead promoting an ideology of socialism, of communism. Capitalism says, for instance, it emphasizes profit in anything they do and maximization of that profit, but also private ownership of property. The socialists or communists say, yes, that's okay to an extent, but largely things should belong to all of us. If it is a road, rather than have it privatized, therefore belong to company X. For instance, as you have Entebbe Kampala Expressway, now somebody is charging money if you want to use it. Let us just open up, and this thing belongs to all people, as opposed to individual ownership. So that was like an ideological difference, but it was mainly to do with fighting for resources across the world, especially where Africa usually finds, Africa and Latin America find themselves at the center of being the carcass, with the high risk of being eaten. Okay. So the point was, some of us don't believe in your underlying political movements, as was happening, for instance, in Africa. If I took an example of Angola, you have a certain ideology that was supporting UNITA, then a rebel force, but another one was supporting the government of the day that had a different ideology. There are people who said, I want to be pro-Uganda. I want to be pro-Africa. I don't want to be pro-America. I don't want to be pro-Russia. Why shouldn't I have my own stand as an entity, as a country, as a government? So the people that didn't belong to any of those two major blocks of the day then, economic bloc, trade bloc, political bloc, at that time in the 1960s, then came together to form the non-aligned movement. It is the biggest body of governments, of countries, after the United Nations. In Uganda, so far, we are glad to have 120 countries, all the non-aligned movement member countries represented. Okay. So that's what the NAM is in brief. Of course, the other bit then would be what advantage does that offer to us. As Ugandans, first and foremost, we are now on the cameras all over the world. I'll take an example of, you remember when it is like sports time, say it is our world football time and the competitions under FIFA, all eyes will be on that particular country and that particular team playing, A similar thing is happening as we speak today. Many are on internet. When you check the numbers, millions of people are checking, what is this thing called Uganda? What advantages does it offer? So when we talk about, say, the organic foods that we are talking about, that we leverage as a country from the God-given resources. That's precisely what we are talking about, and that's the message we are taking out there to those who have come physically and those who are attending through cameras by watching on television and also on YouTube. So that's one. Profiling the country is the second one. That many are called but few are chosen. It is biblical. There were a number of bids for people that wanted to host this awesome function. That ticket nonetheless went to a country somewhere in Africa along the equator line, where the source of the Nile, the longest river arguably in the world, comes from, where the only surviving mountain gorillas, about 500 or so of them, lie. That was a country called Uganda. It did its bid and it was successful, defeating a number of many other countries. That's not all. We are going to take on the chairpersonship, the chair, the head prefectship, or the class monitorship of that institution, 120 countries. How many do you think would wish to be in that kind of status? So it offers those advantages. People are here. You've talked about Marriott hotels and several other hotels in this country. Of course, we have a lot of respect to Marriott. We know the kind of Caribbean service it offers to Ugandans and non-Ugandans, or travelers and others. And precisely they are utilizing our facilities as a country. $1 or $2 is coming in. The implication, amongst the many implications of these meetings, is that we are going to have a lot more inflow of dollars, US dollars, which is one of the major currencies of the world. And that will also have a positive implication on our Ugandan shilling. When we have more dollars coming in here, then you find that there is a bit of our shilling, I don't want to use a lot of technical language, but our shilling gaining ground, because now people are running after the shilling to buy it. It's like this bride to be, and everybody around the corner in Kitgum town or in Kabare municipality is looking at this bride. Everyone is bringing their bid, and this person is kind of gaining value. So that is one of the many other advantages that. But also, lastly, for now, at least for a day, some borders are off the road. So it's an accident or two less, really. Around our city or our cities, Entebbe, Kampala, and a number of others. That's something. Our roads are now cleaner. So when we've cleaned for this wedding, that house where you put paint, because it was going to be Christmas time, because it was going to be this function, we remain with you for such a long period of time. The lighting in Kampala, even if we have to come at the very, very macro level, and you know, for instance, the listeners and viewers, the implication, for instance, of lighting, of roads, and gender doesn't have to be discussed. That there is increased safety of people, especially our ladies folk, because of lighting of our roads and other places that were yesterday dark nooks.
All right.
To mention but a few for now.
Okay, that's interesting. I understand there are so many opportunities that are coming with this particular summit. And now back to organic foods, organic agriculture. What achievements are we looking at in promoting organic agriculture, majorly to the global and of course local market as well?
There are so many achievements so far. We could call them milestones. First of all, the people who are coming for the summits need to know that Uganda is number two in the world organic producing country, and in Africa we are the first country. So we have that already. People know us as a country that is doing very well in organic. We have a guiding framework. We are one of the few countries that have the organic policy. So that's an opportunity, because now all the activities are informed by the policy that is already in place. And from the study that we conducted 2018 to 2021, we've seen tremendous growth in organic agriculture, and people have started embracing and looking for organic food because they want to eat healthy, following what happened with COVID-19 and the increase in the non-communicable diseases. People want to eat healthy food. So they look for organic. So the market has greatly increased, and the exports, I could say they've increased by 40%. And also the processors have increased in number. From, if you look at the statistics from 2018 to 2021, there is tremendous growth. And this is something that we need to take keen interest in, and interest people who are coming in to support and buy organic products.
Okay.
And I could say that there's a lot. There is a number of things that we have also done. Like, for example, we worked with Makerere University to come up with the Kebera tool, which can test the chemicals in products. So people might say, how do I know this product is organic? But it's not yet commercialized, and it needs to be commercialized. You place that tool on a product, it will show you if this product has chemicals or not. If it has chemicals, it will show red. If it has very little chemicals, it will show orange. If it has no chemicals, it's pure organic, it will highlight green. So the organic producers can get more from their products because someone will go for what is green. If it is red, then they will not buy it. So these are some of the initiatives that need to be supported for the country to benefit more from organic agriculture.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, yes, as you've talked about some chemicals, yes, people want high production in terms of crops, and you know these chemicals they bring, yes, they really bring in some good production somehow, somewhat. How are you engaging such? Because the more we go for that, then organic food, organic agriculture will be raising out. How are you integrating these particular farmers to enhance much production of organic foods?
How we are doing this, initially it was very hard to get organic inputs. But now we have companies that are producing organic inputs. So organic agriculture can be done at a small scale and a bigger scale. People used to think that organic agriculture is done on a small scale. But there are so many companies which have come in. They are producing these inputs and at affordable prices. So you don't have to go for those synthetic and harmful chemicals when you have this alternative. So we can still produce more and benefit from that. And also the market is there. People are looking for organic products. So they are looking for healthy food. So that's an opportunity already. And also the other thing is we have government will. Government has come in strongly to support organic agriculture, first of all by supporting the policy itself. And we're in the process of developing the organic bill. And the organic bill will help us operationalize the policy. That way, people will benefit more because they have a guiding framework in place.
Okay, this is interesting. And Mr. Julius, you elaborated for us the tremendous achievements that are going to come with this particular summit. How can someone, a local person, not a minister, not who, but a local Ugandan, tap opportunities from this particular summit?
Even the minister is a local person. I am not sure.
But at least he has opportunities.
To the extent that he or she holds a Ugandan passport, for instance, he's a domestic and therefore a local person. Of course, I get clearly what you are talking about. I am looking at somebody from Busamaga in Mbale. I am looking at somebody from, anywhere in this country. One is really many examples, but just one is as we speak right now, small women producers of organic foods and agriculture related products, women manufacturers, small scale manufacturers, those who make arts and crafts have their, from yesterday, Monday, have had their own interaction with the visitors in the country at Chigo, which is really just next to Munyonyo, the main premises for the NAM meeting. So that interaction, out of the many things, was first of all exposure of the people who have come from Kabarore, have come from Mitiana, Busimbi, have come from Chanamkaka, have come. They were picked from across the country through Ministry of Gender, which is a government body, to be able to come and showcase their products. So out of that, organic honey, organic juices, and many other things, people, as right from yesterday, we are already getting deals. These visitors that have come, well, over 5,000 in number. It is not a small number that we are talking about. We are not talking about your guests at home, the other 3 or the 5 who came the other day. We are talking about 5,000 dignitaries, because many of them are from the international world. They are from other countries. So we need to treat them differently, and including treating them to our organic honey, which organic honey has come from Rakai, which organic honey has come from the west of Nile, in Arua and Ajuman and many other places. So that's the first opportunity. We are drawing exposure of these producers. Oh, I can network with somebody in Kitgum. Oh, this is my neighbor in Guru, in Badegi. All along we didn't know about ourselves until we've come here. How do you do this? How do you the other? That comparison of notes for purposes of learning and improving the quality of our products. That's one. The second one is marketing. Yesterday, some of us were at some of these functions, saw deals being concluded. Oh, I love having tasted on the Ugandan honey, on the Ugandan Kasana, Ruero, pineapple. Oh, I would like to have this, and can we have contacts? Begin to exchange on the possibility of exports, on the possibility of production. Therefore, once those contracts are concluded, increase the domestic production and productivity, as Kabarere was talking about earlier on. Yes. Production and productivity of the organic products and even non-organic products, but regulated, because government under Ministry of Agriculture is already doing a certification of chemical producers, chemical traders, and chemical dispensers across the country, so that we can remove the fake chemicals off the face of the market. Okay. So that's a huge opportunity. The second one, again, all those activities are being highlighted through the international televisions. So many more people that are not physically here are getting to know, oh, Uganda produces apple bananas. Oh, Uganda is a good producer of gonja, plantain. All those become opportunities in terms of exposing our economy to better opportunities around the world out there. So there are lots of opportunities. There are also direct sales that take place right there in the hall. You come to this hall, you know, just typical as we've seen at Soroti grounds, as we've seen at Kaunda grounds in Gulu, as we've seen in Barara in Kacheka, or as we've seen at Uganda Manufacturers Association grounds in Lugogo in Kampala. People come, see, but also right there purchase items. People are getting an income. Direct companies are getting an income. So beyond the being known, beyond the additional profiling and networking, and people are getting grounds for more money into this country. And for a country like Uganda, that's a whole huge opportunity, to mention but a few.
Okay, that's interesting. And now still on the opportunities, how is Nogamu involved in this? How are we showcasing these particular organic foods at this particular summit?
Thank you so much for the question. In fact, this is a great opportunity for us as Nogamu, because even before the summits could happen, we were invited for a press conference, the press conference at the office of the president, to showcase, to share the milestones in organic agriculture. And we called upon all hotels that are hosting these people to prepare organic food. So we had to link them to the organic producers so that they could buy directly from them and feed our guests, instead of just talking about organic agriculture when people are not eating organic agriculture. So we called upon hotels to prepare organic food. Okay. And for us as Nogamu, we are seeing it as an opportunity, because when they get to know that we have organic food here, that means our market will increase.
Yes.
Other people who are watching will say, I can get this product from Uganda. And so after these summits, we expect a lot feedback, a lot of contacts from different people, and all aimed at supporting the members that we have in Nogamu, the farmers, the processors, the exporters. So it's a great opportunity because we know there's a lot to do and there's a lot farmers can benefit. Yes. Okay. So it is really a great opportunity.
All right. And how else have you cooperated with the government to enhance production of organic agriculture?
How we have cooperated with government, I could say that we have been together on development of the guiding framework, first of all.
Okay.
Where I said that we have a policy, the organic agriculture policy, and there hasn't been a lot of money allocated for its implementation. We have developed the 5-year strategic plan, which started last year, and we have aligned our strategic plan to what the policy provides for. So that way we'll be able to work closely with government to ensure that we are implementing the policy for the benefit of our members. That's how we are working with government.
Okay.
And for the bill, we're already talking with a number of members of parliament, and we are engaging the office of the president so that we have a bill. We already have a roadmap, and we know that when it comes, it will be supported. Of course, organic agriculture is the way to go. Everyone is talking about organic. We are here talking about. It's an opportunity, even having this talk show. It was not like this before, because it was organic agriculture was pushed mainly by the private sector.
Yes, sure.
And interested government on board. It took like more, I think, 20 years for the policy to go through after being on shelf for so long. But having the policy now, that means whatever we are doing is in line with government priorities. So we are now kickstarting the implementation. We are already in the process of drafting the bill, developing the bill. Okay. So we are working together with government and also other civil society organizations. And also so many development partners have come on board, like Feed the Future. They are supporting us in a number of engagements on the organic bill.
Okay.
But also quickly, just to add that on how such institutions are working with government, government is the one that does the licensing.
Oh, yes.
So to the extent that you are allowed to operate and the operations are known, and vice versa. Because you can see she's talking about sitting together at the table and being able to discuss 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Opens up a whole huge opportunity. When you look at the operations of, I've taken just a few examples of institutions like the Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group, the East African Budget Network, the Nogamu, and many other institutions out there. They have not been curtailed to do their work. So even as the policy configuration gets more refined and all this, the works are going ahead. In the field there, in Hoima, in Ulisa, you interact with these teams with their organizing capacities of producer groups, of marketing groups, and quality control groups and laboratories in the field, movable or mobile laboratories, to check things and make sure that things are happening. All that is an opportunity provided by government in that respect, over and above the very specifics.
I actually wanted to ask you the importance of
but also actually the road that gets you there, the road has been fixed that gets you there. So where you are taking 8 hours from Kampala through Soroti to Katakwi to be able to get to Moroto, to the very farmer you are talking about, it will take you half the time on a peaceful environment. You don't expect any incidences of thuggery and many other things, because government has put those in check. The institutions of government, like police and the ISO structures, have ensured that there is peace and safety for people to do their work within the confinements of a country called Uganda. So all those additions that
I actually wanted to ask you the importance of having the private sector collaborating with the government to enhance development. What are these anchor importances?
You will notice that for a country like Uganda, where we started from, we've had instances where we've had a foot in the so-called socialism kind of ideology or way of doing things. If you remember the Obote's declaration in the famous 1964 Chivubo pronouncement that Uganda is no longer this, but we shall go socialist. So we've had those types of things, but we have also come quickly to speed, say from the 1990s, where government opened up, said, private sector, what's the problem? That we are all Manchester United players. We are shooting or aiming at shooting in the same goalpost. Improvement of the growth of the country, economic growth of the country, political and social transformation. So private sector comes. So private sector, for instance, under the NRM government, just as a sample, government policy says the private sector shall be the engine of growth. That means, amongst many other things, that if this Church of Uganda, the owners feel that they would wish to have something called the Church of Uganda House, it is not a government entity, it is a non-government entity. Yes. What's the problem? It actually adds on the skyline of Kampala, provides room for offices, and so that's a good way to go. So government has been at the forefront of supporting the private sector to produce, to market, to make its money. You have several private entity banks here. You have several private dairy operators, you know, with their dairy plants and machinery, and many other things. You have the producers of Pepsi as a product and many other products in this country that are happening with no hindrance. Just grown there a few regimes to work with, and how do you dispose your waste, how do you pay a bit of tax into the state coffers, and we move. So the private sector has been at the center of government's heart, and it continues to be. If you looked at a case, for instance, where government in the last financial year powered a whole 1 trillion shillings into the development under the spectrum of the parish development model, as an example. That's a whole private sector entity, but the government is saying, because we believe in you, because we entrust you, we are getting this over 1 trillion shillings directly into the parishes across the country to be able to increase on production and productivity. Those are just few examples here of the Marriotts you've talked about, and many others have come in here because there is a conducive environment for private sector to operate. Even under NAM, under the meetings that are taking place, private sector, the foreign direct investment coming into this country will definitely increase, as a matter of fact, because now we're in the radar of the world as a peaceful country with investment opportunities and many so other opportunities without government disturbance.
Okay, it's interesting. We're discussing the advancements or milestones that have that lie along with organic foods, and of course also the opportunities that come along with the summits that are here, the non-aligned movement, and of course the G77 plus China summits that are hosted by Uganda. What opportunities do we have as local people to gate from these particular summits, and of course enhance development in our particular country? It is issues at hand. We're going in for a very short break and return immediately.
Issues at Hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives. This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives. Issues at hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.
Welcome back. You're still watching Issues at Hand here at Church of Uganda Family TV, and of course we're powered by Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. We're discussing matters, opportunities that have come along with the NAM and G77 Plus Summit, but of course majorly now we have people from, we have a lady, Marilyn from Nogamu. Of course we're discussing matters of organic food, how to embrace organic food and why should we embrace organic food, and then she also noted earlier that we are #1 on the African continent and of course #2 in the world. That is not something any country would love to jump on. That is our opportunity. How are we embracing that is what we are discussing here. Now, have we engaged local people to also bring in the organic foods? Like, is there any way they are showcasing it, or it is only through connections of people who are going to supply the foods there?
Yes, we've engaged the local people because we believe that when we had a press conference and called upon the different suppliers to tap into the opportunity and supply, they've been able to supply the different hotels to feed these people.
Okay.
And besides that, we have markets that are there for people to buy organic products from. We have one at Abaita Babiri with a number of organic products, and we have one at behind American Embassy where it is always there on Saturday.
Okay.
So the local people supply those markets, and the delegates can buy from there.
Oh.
Yes, so that's how we are engaging the local people to benefit. But the concern here, I think I should bring it out. I feel the NAM and the G77 plus China should have been popularized earlier. Last year we should have known that these summits are coming up so that we can see how to benefit more from them. Not knowing a few days to the summits and then we don't prepare. You know, local people need to be prepared so that they can really benefit from this opportunity. But I think it's not too late. They now know, and even beyond the summit, they will be able to benefit by supplying.
Yeah, that's true. We have an interactive show here. It is called Lunchtime Request, where our presenters go to the people down there. And the question was, what to do about NAM? But trust me, like if it is 10 people, one at least knew. So meaning there was less sensitization about NAM for people to benefit. But as you've noted, it is never late. So we can take on opportunities from where it is. And NAM is here for 5 days, and then G77. All these will take place from yesterday until the 24th. So these days
actually, moderator, NAM is not here for 3 days or 4 days. NAM is here for 3 years.
Yes, we are
our own head of state, His Excellency President Museveni, is going to take on the chairmanship, the chairpersonship of the 120 country member organization called NAM. So it means that for us out there, we need to prompt the presidency. How do we plug in for opportunities now that Uganda is holding the chairpersonship? That doesn't happen every day. If I asked people out there when was the last time that Uganda got a chairpersonship, you'd find this is the first time ever. Therefore, the opportunities are not just for the 3 days. The 3 day is just a physical meeting in a room, in a workshop. You take some tea, but the threads for opportunities, the road for opportunities is going to be on us, and taking advantage of that is going to be on us as Ugandan individuals, as Ugandan companies, as international companies that need to come here and invest in Uganda so that they can take advantage of the chairperson, the office of the chairpersonship for the period of not just 1 but 3 years.
Wow, thank you so much, Julius. And now back to you, Marilyn. What are some of the challenges we are facing as a nation to bring up or enhance productivity in organic agriculture?
Some of the challenges which could be there is organic agriculture is just a subsector for the whole organic sector.
Okay.
You can see that our support in terms of budget has been very minimal. So if it's that minimal, I think it has never gone beyond 5% of the national budget. So that means also the organic sector is not benefiting much from that budget. So that's a challenge. You see, most of the initiatives we have been doing have been mainly by private sector. But we need government to allocate more resources to the organic sector. Because now we are talking about where we have comparative advantage as Uganda, and we are bringing in organic agriculture. So if organic agriculture is to benefit Ugandans more, government has to put in more resources so that we can implement the policy like I earlier talked about. So that's one of the challenges. And the other challenge has been around the cost of certification. But these are all things that we are talking about as Nogamo, and we are looking for ways on how to support our members to certify their companies and benefit from the exports. Also, the knowledge, people need to understand what organic agriculture is. We've done that, but we need to do more. People need to know the benefits more so that they can divert from conventional to organic and benefit and eat healthy for the good of the people, the environment, the soils, and the future generations. So there has to be a lot of trainings, a lot of research for people to benefit from this and promote it as Uganda's culture. The other challenge could be, I don't know. I think those are the key ones for now.
Maybe Mr. Julius, since you're a member of CSBAG, what are these challenges that come along with underfunding of some particular sectors, now like the agriculture or the organic agriculture sector by the government? Because when it underfunds, I understand you oversee the budget somehow, somewhere.
Broadly, once there is underfunding, then precisely that's what happens. It means you had lined up to do 10 things, you can only do 4.
Yeah, sure.
As simple as that. The other 6 foregone become your bigger challenge. As simple as that. But also, more precisely, I've never seen. I usually follow the going zone at the Pentagon in the case of the US and a number of these other parliaments and key institutions in the world. There is never going to be an opportunity that you will say you have sufficient resources. There is always competition for resources. We were taught that in primary, and it has never changed, even in our old age. There will be limited resources. The most important thing is rationalization. How do you work with the little to be able to deliver so much? Where do your priorities lie? So in the case of even agriculture, we can see that government is making effort. If you look at the number of initiatives, if I took an example of, say, NARO, National Agricultural Research Organization, the level of investment that has gone in, and today, in 2024, we can celebrate a Ugandan homegrown vaccine against ticks, which cause East Coast fever and kill animals and stuff. And that through that we'll be able to save about 6 trillion shillings in the medium term. Shows that government is committed to investing in these areas. The other one, like the certification we've talked about, the standardization of things, beginning with the National Bureau of Standards. When you look at the budget allocations, it is not as the Bureau would have loved to have, but it has money that can enable it to deliver certain, give us certain deliverables. Test agriculture-related things, test agricultural inputs, test chemicals that come into this country, and on a number of occasions government has discarded and destroyed some of these things that are substandard. Challenges still notwithstanding. So I think overall there is effort, but underfunding itself brings precisely problems of underfunding that you wanted to have a primary school, government-aided primary school across all the parishes of the country. But out of 10,594, that so far you are still missing on about 131. But do we see progressive improvement? Because in the budget analysis, in the budget work, in financing economies, in financing countries, that's what happens. Do we see progressive movement of finances, of resources generally in certain areas? That's when you see somebody's commitment. If yesterday there were 30 shillings, even in real terms, real 30,000 shillings, but in the next year it is actually 20, and in the subsequent year it is 10, you can see there is lack of commitment. In the case of Uganda, we don't see that kind of outline. We see progressive investment, however slow in the narrow distribution, narrow centers around the country. You know, Kobwin in Karamoja, if you looked at Kachwekano in Kabare for the Chijes sub-region, and a number of others, you see there is progressive investment. There has been progressive investment in agriculture in areas of getting good genetics, good breeds for livestock, as an example. In the farm in Kamuli, the farm in Njeru, in Jinja area, you see that government is making effort to getting good quality semen, which is passed on to farmers to be able to get good quality breeds and stocks. When you look at the work that is happening in Chituza, in Mukono, under coffee development, the new breeds, Colono Coffee, and many others by Kawanda, and a number of these government institutions, you see that there is effort that is happening. So as we take on many other fronts, there is also the kind of the flagship approach. Flagship approach argues that you have limited resources, like everyone else. Therefore, you have choices to scatter all over or to concentrate, and concentrate on the 20% of the key and strategic areas that will deliver for you the other 80. And precisely that's what government has done. If you are talking about, for instance, Nogamo and organic exports, you are not going to take them as a raw mango from Ruweru there, or as a raw mango from Kaberamaido. No, you are going to require electricity, process them, sun dry them, or use solar system, or use hydropower and many other sources of power as we are doing in this country, and then you are able to export your commodity to the Japan market.
Okay, that's interesting. And now back to you, Marilyn. What plans do you have to further grow the organic sector in Uganda as we wind up?
We have very many plans. Like I said, we have the new strategic plan, which is aligned to the National Organic Agriculture Policy, where there are a number of activities. Also, we are looking for support to the commercialization of the Kevera tool I talked about. Yes. So that people can move away from trusting producers of organic, that this is organic, real testing, and know that they are eating organic. And also the other plan which is on table is for us to fast track the development of the organic beer. That is very key. And also to bring many people to the umbrella so that we work together and benefit more from organic agriculture. And also continue advocacy towards the allocation of the budget to support organic agriculture in Uganda. Yes, those are the plans we have. Just to mention, but a few.
All right, interesting. Maybe in just a minute, Mr. Julius, wind up for us.
I think for us, Ugandans should realize that there is increased vote of confidence in our country. This is not about President Museveni as an individual or opposition group. So when an opportunity of a meeting of such a nature comes, we need to embrace it, all of us as Ugandans, that the faith institutions, the private sector institutions, that speak about it, connect Ugandans to the opportunities thereof, prepare ourselves, skilling of our people, if you see like universal primary education and the investment for many people to know basic skills and know basic English and many other languages, Swahili, so that they can compete when meetings of such a nature open investment opportunities for us. Overall, I think there is we need to be optimistic as Ugandans, and also as the Bible guides us, that we, with God's guidance, really we shall be able to we shall be able to see better things as individuals, as a country, and as corporations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe still, Madam Marilyn, also the last words in just a minute.
The last words is thank you for hosting us. And thank you for embracing organic.
Oh, yeah,
you know, when people talk about organic, it is good for Nogamo, it's good for all of us. That means if someone out there is listening and is going to eat organic food. Thank you so much. And I would like our delegates to know that this is an organic country. So feel at home, eat organic, take organic.
Oh, wow.
And we also thank government for supporting us in this journey. And we look forward to more support towards promoting organic agriculture in Uganda.
Wow, thank you so much. It has been an interesting one. And of course, the call, I think, is very, very easy to take on, embrace the opportunities that have come with this particular summit, and of course, also embrace organic food in the country, Uganda. Let the visitors know that we are organic, and of course, you know what organic food comes along with. You must be having a healthy body if you take on organic foods. That's not something you need to go to school for, but we appreciate that you've joined us today. My name is Luke Majumba Lenaitwe, and of course, we truly continue encouraging you to adhere or follow the guidelines that have been put up by the police for this particular time, the temporary diversions, the temporary deployments in town, all that. Please abide with that, so that we can have a very, very fruitful period of time of these visits by the delegations from different countries. My name is Luke, and of course we wish you a lovely day.
Issues at Hand, powered by
Protea Hotel by Marriott Entebbe. Comfort and luxury at its best.